doing something a little bit different. For you guys at least. For me, it's nothing really out of the ordinary, as I do this all the time. Why can my camera never be aligned when I start a video? We're hopping into the Flight Simulator X-Plane 11. Now this is a just for fun flight. I'm not doing air traffic control or any communications of that sort. We simply have a route here planned that I'll be entering into the flight system, and then we're going to be flying. We'll be departing from Boston and flying up to Rutland, Vermont. It's a flight I used to do with Cape Air passenger, and it's a fun flight. It's a cool flight, so we're going to do that today in the simulator. That's the plan, as I'm sitting here talking to myself with the screen out in front of my face because I'm stupid as they get. But anywho, that is what we are up to. Now, I'm going to real quickly make sure the stream all goes live correctly because I am using a restream, which sometimes struggle buses to do things properly, but it would appear that everything is working cool. Alrighty, let's get our plane fired up here. Takes only about a minute to get everything going here. We'll switch our master switches on. As well. On. Taxiway, taxiway. We're going to throw these on before we have any heated issues. So, I'm not going to turn that on. You want to keep the avionics off. You can break the avionics, turn on to go. Alrighty. We'll turn those off real quick. Come here, we'll push our mixture all the way up and crack the throttle. Now we're going to come back over here and turn those fuel pumps on. Verify she's on. She's on. That one is not on, as it shouldn't be. It's on now. Alrighty, with those on at this point, we can now go over here and we will turn on our avionics. Avionics are on. Why does this? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm realizing a problem I have now. So, I have buttons on my number pad that change my views. I forgot that these ones do stuff that I don't want them to do. That might be a problem. I need to figure out how to fix that real quick. The plane nonetheless is fired up, which is what matters, but I may have to dick around with settings. I looked down at my phone for the stream and I was like, why are they looking at what they are? Anywho, the avionics are fine. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the ass. I definitely have to fix that. Yeah, see, I press 5, and 5 brings me back to my viewpoint, but you guys end up losing it. So I'll need to fix that myself because, yeah, that's a problem. Okay, we'll stay live. I'm not going to end the stream or anything, but I am going to have to iron this out real fast if I can remember how to do it. I very rarely mess with any of this stuff. It's probably not really worth my time to mess with. I'll just function like manually. Alright, whatever. That is what it is. If I go to our flight plan here, I'll just click on this thing. Flight plan. The flight plan's actually already in there, so I don't have to do it again. I've flown this flight before numerous times. Oh, this is such a pain in the ass. I have to do this manually. Alright, whatever. We'll go to... Actually, we'll forget about that one for now. Turn this on. This kind of shows us some of our flight route. No one's watching. What the hell? I know. If it's not racing, everyone's like, fuck you, Colin. What are you doing with your life? I get it. You guys don't like it. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. I get it, alright? You guys don't have to want to watch. Anyway, we fire this up. It's on. Which is good. That's what we wanted. That's on. And looking good. We're at Boston. We're going to fly to Reaver, then to On Deck, then to Swans. And hopefully it's all entered in there properly. I should technically be making sure that's the case. This thing ain't fucking lined up correctly today. Hopefully it fixes itself. Doesn't appear to want to. We're going to toggle something here real quick, because that's killing me right now. Alrighty. Compass alignments. Let's see, where are they? I haven't flown this thing in a little bit. Yeah, it should be technically fine. 137. Alright, it actually is probably aligned. I don't know what the deal with that one is. According to that one, it's aligned at least, so that's all good. Things you do before you take off is you tend to check for alignment on your airplane. We're checking for alignments on the airplane, making sure everything's all set here before we take off. If you start it up, if you load in the simulator with everything running already, everything's set up correctly. But basically every like 20 minutes or so, it kind of gets unaligned. And I let this plane sit here for like 2 hours while I was watching YouTube videos. I probably should have reloaded it in to ensure that everything was correctly on, but it shouldn't be a big deal anyways. I would just rather make sure this is all good in the hood. This is gonna take forever. Why are we? Okay. There we go. We'll fly that way. That's all that matters. That's the goal here. So, anyhow, we're gonna go take off now. Hopefully it all works. I'm kind of rushing this to make it work, so it might not work, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Plane's fired up. Brakes off. I can lower that throttle a little bit here. Hello. Those are, hey, you can run right through them, doesn't really matter. I have to manually bring myself back. What a pain in the cock. Alright. We're gonna go over here. I'm gonna follow this to the circle. Because I looked into... Gotta be kidding me, guys. It's killing it. This is going to fucking piss me off in about 3 seconds if I don't fucking fix this. I'm already really annoyed. I need to, like, pause that whole thing, which is in settings. Oh, and your intro music is playing now. Yep, it's a whole disaster right now. Is it playing loud over the stream? About 3 seconds. It's not playing loud over the stream. That's good. Hotkeys. Can I just toggle them off? I'd like to just, like, turn them off for a minute. If we can do that. Can I do that? Anyone know? Because I don't remember. Build the wall. Yes, we're going to build that wall. We're going to build that wall really fast, too. Advanced. Turn off my stupid thing. Oy vey. I should have ironed this out, but there's no way for me to really know it's going to do it until I do it. Oh god, can something just please work here? What if I press minus? Okay, that works. I'll just do them all over anyways. I don't have to do like an actual stream for weeks anyways, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Of course, I'm experiencing like technical difficulties on what's supposed to be a joyful flight. Oh, sorry, wrong game. It was loud. Yes, I mean I could crash in this too. It's not impossible. We're flying to Rutland, Vermont, which should be fun. Now that I have everything figured out here, I'd like to come over here and toggle this thing and just, oh yeah. There we go. That's good enough. I'll make that work. I'll probably untoggle it one more time. Alright, coming on to our run. I hate it when shit don't go right. Me too. Me too. It's such a pain in the cock. Looking clear right. Alright, getting the brakes. Let's whip this thing onto the runway, take off out of Boston. I'll even toggle the replay so you guys can see what it looks like from a passenger point of view. But here we are, loaded onto our runway here. We'll pause it just for the sake of convenience. Yep, we are lined up just where we wanted to be. I don't know why my plane's obsessed with rolling everywhere. I do that. One of the annoying things I did with the simulator... Dude, nothing is working right. My controls are breaking. I've never had this many problems. Anywho, now that we're ready to go, we're just gonna go full throttle and get on out of here while I lag out conveniently right then and there. Okay, let's go. Get up to 80 miles an hour and pull up. And we are out. Wow, it's windy today. It is very windy today and very turbulent. Holy shit. Alright, landing gear's up. Flaps are up. Okay. We're navigating off the GPS, so we're just going to follow that thing, because like I said, I'm not really doing any of this properly today. Mostly because I just don't care enough to. I kind of just wanted to have a fun flight and create content for you guys at the same time. So here we are. We'll see if I even go through the whole flight. Tyler, Rachel's watching. Hey Tyler, I haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, not flying this plane properly whatsoever. I don't care to. I usually would, but I cared up until the stream glitched everything out. And I've been experiencing every bug on Earth. Oh, anywho, here's those passenger views I talked about that you guys can see. It is really turbulent. I am quite surprised. Nice and smooth, driver. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. Alrighty. We're gonna take a look here at this GPS because nothing is working quite properly. It's gonna bug me that nothing's working properly here, but unfortunately that just kind of is what it is. We're following everything correctly so far, so that's good. I need to kind of move this thing around, but it's not really moving for me. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. No, whatever, doesn't matter. We'll just keep following the red line on the GPS. We'll get there eventually. Badass weather though. And we're gonna come over here, adjust our prop speeds down. Good. We're gonna cruise at about 7,000 feet, so when we get to 7,000, we'll flatten out. Things looking pretty good here. We're gonna start turning right, which will turn us for on deck. Wowzers, I can't believe this turbulence. And my frame rate. I'm having a lot of problems. Typically I'm running fucking 40 frames today. No, not at all. We are running 21 frames. Alright, turning on to on deck. I'll definitely talk while we do this one. I know sometimes I like don't talk during like my streams, but this is flying. I can talk while I do this all day long. This weather's kind of annoying me though. It's definitely not the best of weather. Oh, there we go. We're on. Alright. Awesome sauce. Continuing to take off here. There is autopilot functions in this plane. I don't typically use them, but we can. So what I'll do is I'll move this selector here over to there. I typically pause everything when I'm doing that, but not today. And we'll select heading. So now the plane's gonna hold our heading, supposedly. Maybe it's not going to. I told it to. It doesn't want to. Where are you going, plane? Where are you going? Let's see what it does. Maybe it'll figure its life out. Maybe it won't. It's not figuring its life out here. Okay. That's not right. I have a lot of problems with this plane today. It's not typically how things go. Whatever. I couldn't get that stupid compass to align correctly for whatever reason. Oh my god. There we go. Come on. Do stuff. Work with me, man. Work with me. Alright, now we're on autopilot here. Are there drinks for us back there? Yeah, sure, have a drink. You guys can enjoy drinks while looking out the windows at the clouds. I'm still attempting to iron out these issues with this. I'm not too sure what the deal is with it. Definitely problems I'm having. Okay. We're relatively on track now. This thing is off. You would typically work on fixing that when you're on the ground, but I'm who I am. If this was reality, I probably wouldn't have even taken off this plane because that is broken. That is not working correctly at all. Not how that's supposed to work. Unfortunately, but hey, kind of just what it is. Come on. Holy shit. Yeah, my whole computer like crashed earlier, and it completely kind of fucked my whole thing up here. I just need to figure out how to calibrate this thing, which doesn't want to calibrate. It's so weird. Never have these problems. Our altimeter's at least set, right? Are there parachutes? No, but we're not going to crash. We'll land regardless. My instruments can all be broken and I'll be fine. That might be a problem. Did I turn on the vacuum? Or was it even an option? I don't think so. It's all looking fine. Oh, we're at 10,000 feet. We will hold our altitude here. If it's cool with that. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Where are you taking me, plane? Gonna level out? We'll fly on 10,000. 10,000 is fine. 10,000 is just fine. Wanted to be a little bit lower, but that's fine. Set it for 7,500. It's not going to listen to me anyways because this whole plane is not working. But that's fine. I typically fly it by hand, but last time I flew this plane, I used all the autopilots. Just for the sake of being able to focus on other things. Like, typically you'd have a co-pilot who's taking over when you're dicking around with the stuff. Or actually, the co-pilot would probably be doing it for you while you fly the plane. But that's fine. Off throttle a little bit. Get it back in green there on our manifold. Okay. Due to our height, probably will want that on. Okay. I could hold it to the nav, but it might go wonky with my altitude at that point. So I'll just take manual control over the autopilot. This compass being unaligned is killing me though. Not good. Not good. Won't realign either. This is an old aircraft in reality and the software itself, so that definitely adds to the problems here that we're experiencing. But hey, we're up in the air, and that was the goal. No. Other way. Alrighty. We're 37 miles away from on deck, which if I hop over here to Sky Vector, which is currently not working. Okay, we took off. Still flying okay, right? Okay. We took off out of Boston, Little River. Right. We're currently flying to on deck. From on deck, we'll go to where did I send myself from on deck? On deck. I don't know. We'll just follow whatever the flight plan was. It's a different flight plan from the one I had turned out. Ultimately, we'll end up over here to Muddy. Muddy's going to end up being our where we end up going to, but we'll kind of see how that works out. Because I can't find what I'm looking for right now. But anywho, I'm just going to go like this. We're going like that, to be honest with you. There's a little navigation aid between here and there that I can't find right now, but it doesn't really matter. We are in the clouds. Good thing the plane kept flying itself straight for me. That was important. Yeah, we're completely in the clouds. The weather is actually kind of shit over Rutland. Not gonna lie. So that's gonna suck for us, but it's not really a big deal. We will be fine. We're gonna work with this thing a little bit. See if I can get this system to turn on. It doesn't want it. There we go. Come on. You can do it. Alright. What do we got for weather out here? Okay. Didn't do a good job at doing its test there. The whole thing broke. Alright, it's fine. This one's working at least. And that's what matters. And I can at least go to this one. And I can pull up the radar on this one. What's our beeping about? Oh. So, what do you call that thing with the beepy stuff? Morse code? Because that's what it is. have it set for that for weather, but I looked at the weather before we even took off, so we're fine. No biggie there. Alrighty, currently. We've done a mediocre job at staying on our line perfectly, as you can see, but yeah, we're fine. As we work our way towards Rutland, you guys can get a good view out the wing. Then you can enjoy all my views, which were breaking everything earlier. You know what I might do, actually? Actually, no, let's keep this up here. I have the oxygen turned on, we'll be fine. And it's a simulator, so I can't die from a lack of oxygen. However, the oxygen's like, there's enough oxygen at 10,000, but I personally turned on the oxygen settings, which I can't really get to with my key bindings, but they're on. We also have all the heats toggled to keep us from having any icing issues, because those are no fun. And yeah, now it's just along for the ride. It's about a 45-minute flight from here, so we have some time. I still want to like toy around with why my compass is having problems. This one's right. Somewhat. It ain't perfect. But for reference, I literally don't have anything fucking spinning around. It shouldn't be off, but this aircraft's technically not for this simulator. It is, but it's not. It's for the last simulator. So it works better on there. Doesn't work too well on here. So where I struggle is with the avionics are broken. So I'm having to kinda I like all the clutter. We work with the clutter, we don't mind it. Supposedly still fine. Supposedly. I'll tell you one thing though, it's very choppy leaving Boston. Plane went like this when we took off. It's normal, not a big deal. But it wasn't that windy 30 minutes ago and I checked the fucking radar. It's been a windy day here. I was out on my motorcycle earlier. I live near Boston. 45 minutes away from Boston. I shouldn't say like near Boston, but geographically close. Coming out of the clouds here. Looking a little clearer. Should be your view as passenger. Once again. Working our way downtown. Enjoying ourselves. Your captain is leaving his seat. So sometimes I bring this dude out with me. It's usually when I'm racing, which means I can't really ramble about him much. But this is Terrence, Speed of Dragon, and this feels like a good time to have him out for a flight. Take him out with us. Have a good time. Still cruising here at about 10,000 feet. This is a cool thing. Well, good thing I didn't do that. It's clear finally. You can see around us. Buildings, people below. That's nice. But that weather in front of us looks a little less pleasant. Keep an eye on that. Alright, we've gone past Reaver. We're now on our way to on. We've been on our way to on deck. I don't know why I said that. Alrighty. I wish this thing was fucking calibrated. Nothing's calibrated right now, though. Not even that's calibrated. And that's supposed to always be calibrated, so I really don't know why everything's bugging out on this plane. Last time I flew, I didn't have these problems, but I just didn't update the simulator. And it ain't fucking liking it now. It's not too happy. Not happy at all. Head back into the clouds. No vision. The clouds are cool, they're volumetric. I enjoy it. This might be obnoxiously loud, so don't mind it. See the plane? Flying along. Chemtrails. Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about? This is something I can literally sit here and ramble to you guys during. I can talk all day. On deck, 2 swans. We got those airline peanuts? Sure. Actually, the airline that flies this route, they don't have jack shit. They don't even have water. They have nothing. They don't have flight attendants. They only have like 1, 2 pilots. It's a small plane. I mean, if I hop out here, it's not big. That's all. Like, why don't you do a race? Because there's so many bad drivers on iRacing right now, I can't even stand it. But maybe. I can do a race later if you think it's a good idea. Let me know. What race should I run? I'll run a race. Why not? It's a boring world anyways. I've been playing like fucking 1,000 hours of Call of Duty the last couple of days. I'm level 50 on Call of Duty after like 2.5 days of owning the game. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Check our charts again. We're almost halfway there. Alright. Why not? Doesn't sound like a bad idea to me. Trucks are at Chicago. I like Chicago. Chicago's not a bad track. That sounds fun to me. We should be touching this plane down around 7:30. However, we're going to make a change here. I'm going to be taking control again of this plane. The precedence of altitude. We're going to be lowering down here a little bit. If it's... Yep, I got full control of the plane. Okay. We're going to lower down a little bit here. Just going to kind of hold steady here. We're going to try to drop below the cloud. Alrighty. Sounds Gucci. Kind of a rapid deceleration, not gonna lie. There we go. We're gonna probably drop her down to about 9,000. 8,500. But there's no need to stay here and fly in the clouds all day. Not necessary. Keep flying out here. Use minimal fuel as we can. See the turbulence kind of shifting around a little bit. It's light turbulence over here. Weather's bad down low. Alright, you're not being a good sport. I'm gonna put him back in his tank. What an adventure. Alrighty. Approaching 8,500. We'll set our altitude back now and our heading. Autopilot's back on. And we're going to take it back. Because we're taking a sharp turn here. Going for swans. Now, this autopilot's gonna fight me here. I really wish my compass had fucking worked today. I wish everything wasn't broken. This is the only instrument working. The only instrument working is this thing. It's the only instrument for navigation that's actually working properly. And I never even use that. I usually use that. But that is what it is. Now on the swans. Have you tried Vulcan yet? At one point I hit. I haven't actually tried Vulcan yet. I haven't downloaded the beta. I'm still using the official release. X-Plane always bugs me out terribly, so with their official release products. But you know, after this, I might just download it because I don't know why suddenly I'm having such bad frame rate. Might be because I'm live. Might be because I'm streaming. But 3 years ago, this was a pretty beefy computer, so I'm surprised that it's giving me trouble. We're gonna drop some altitude again. Hey, you know, fuck it. We'll stay up here. As I knew, it was gonna be very turbulent as we got towards Rutland. So we'll definitely have some bumpiness here. It's gonna be a little rough getting her down. I was gonna be in flight school to finish up my pilot license stuff and go for commercial, but now the economy and everything's destroyed. I still love flying, so you can do it in the simulator. I believe we're gonna be hitting the clouds here. It's definitely a bit turbulent though. We're getting shaking around pretty good. We're staying just barely under that cloud face. Good thing about the new beta is you can turn it off and it's not if it's not working right. And outside of Vulkan, I'm averaging about 50 FPS. All right, you know what? Yeah, I'll go on. I bought this X-Plane through Steam. I'll go on and after this between this and the race simulator, I'll download the beta. Speaking of PPL, same dude. I got about 2 hours last year and that's it. Yep, it's I was gonna go to a program to get all 250 I needed for my commercial and then start flight instructing, but currently that's something I can't even think about because unfortunately with all this stuff the aviation industry is in shambles, so all I can do is it on here. But love flying, it's so much fun. I went a couple months ago, you might have saw it on Instagram. I went in a Czech sports cruiser. It was a different plane than anything I'd ever flown before, very light. Man, that thing felt turbulence. It wasn't that bad that day. It was a clear day, a little choppy, but nothing bad. And that plane was boom, 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 up and down. It's crazy. Cape Air is one of the airlines I've thought about flying for if it ended up working out. If the airline industry rebounds and bounces back quick, I'll definitely go for it again. For now, it's kind of on hold, and I'm just kind of focusing on what I can for the time being. Oops. Alrighty, we're coming up on Swan soon. When we're coming towards Muddy, when we're about 10-15 miles out of Muddy, that's when we'll begin our rapid descent. Yeah, hell yeah, it was a lot of fun. One thing I hated about X-Plane 11 is a lot of old aircraft don't work with it. Like I've been complaining about this whole flight. Nothing on this plane is working properly with X-Plane today. So I've unfortunately had to deal with that. We're 5 miles away from Swans. Like these are the only things working properly. The compass is off. Like, I'm surprised that I had all these problems. Oh, okay. So don't mind me. The compass is off. I don't know what the wording deal is with that, but I'm stupid. Okay, this is what happens when you don't fly for months, and you hop in a plane, take off of it, and don't read the freaking paper. We have crosswind. We have a heavy crosswind right now. This is actually correct. The reason I have it set off is because, yeah. So if we're flying off by about, actually wait, that still doesn't make sense. Fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna begin aligning here for our next checkpoint. Whoa, go back to my flight plan. Alright. So we'll be 63 miles to Muddy from here. And then we'll, I remember it off the top of my head. I didn't get any of these papers ready. I just felt like streaming something different. Yep. As much as I hate Coronado, I just bought the Cheyenne for X-Plane 11. It works with it. GTX. Check it out. Alright, yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah, I'm not too huge on Coronado. Just Flight, on the other hand, I bought their Piper Archer and I kind of like it. It's cool. It's a good plane. I bought the one with landing gear and I kind of wish I did, because I don't fly the one with landing gear ever. But it was one of my favorite planes I've flown, so I saw it as a product, and they make like everything really good with like the paper and everything else. The documents. I don't know why I'm calling it paper. It's like such an immature word for it, but their documents and everything like that. So they do a good job. I like their stuff. My ultimate goal with aviation, I like the A320s, I like the 737s, but after all the trouble with the 737, kind of shifted my loyalties to Airbus and like JetBlue. And I was like, I wouldn't mind flying A320, so I was gonna buy an A320 payware, but they're expensive and my computer doesn't like running anything, so You can see the mountains of Vermont. We're coming up on them here with our turbulent times continuing to impact us. We're currently relatively on the right track. I'm going to take control of the altitude again for a second here. I would like to check something out here. Yeah, it's going to take me right back up. I need to just take full control back. Fly it manually. It's probably going to be a rough landing because of the weather. I'm probably just going to have to kind of slap this plane down. Yep. I know. I actually bought the A330 Blues. It works extremely well, and I don't have a super high-end setup. Oh, that's good. Is that the Flight Factor one? Or is that by one of the other guys? Like, I tested out, you know how that works, the ERJ, and, like, the plane literally brought the simulator down to 5 FPS, and I was like, holy shit. So I ended up buying it. It was crazy. But the A320, if that doesn't impact frame rate too well, I might look into it. Especially as all this stuff, like, calms down. It's a pretty rapid descent. Probably uncomfortable passengers back there. It's another airport. Alrighty. Start to level out this descent here. Alrighty. Not too shabby. I'll take it. So we'll be landing probably within 30 minutes. We'll touch down in Rutland. Could be a little bit longer. Like I said, this is pretty bad weather. And I don't remember how well X-Plane does like mountainous areas with weather, but if it's bad weather in the mountain areas, it's pretty shit. So if things aren't lining up perfectly and there's any wind shear, might have to go around that twice if we start dropping out to jar design. Alright, I'll look at theirs. Jar design and flight factor both make the thing I don't know if jar design does it the same way, but flight factor, they mimic the systems like to a T. Like the FMS and that flight factor plane is the same as the real plane versus some aircrafts don't simulate it all that well. So if jar design has a really good one, then I might just go for theirs if it runs better. Flight factor is always a little heavy hitting. I'm still annoyed that like some of my planes from X-Plane 10 don't work with 11. It's still so annoying to me. Like my X-Plane 10 flight factor 777, that don't work. And my Coronado Cessna Caravan, that doesn't work either. So if I want to fly them, I have to hop into X-Plane 10. Although X-Plane 10 runs better and looks the same. The clouds, you can't adjust the clouds anymore through the game. So I lowered the file size of the clouds to get like 40 FPS, but obviously it reset from an update because it overrides the files. So I'm going to have to go back through that, unfortunately. Fix that up. It'll probably take me forever to learn the jar design A330 systems too. As you can tell, I'm like struggling to fly a freaking Cessna 404. This is some freaking turbulence, man. Holy crap. By far the best, but I was afraid of the frame hit. Yeah, they have quite the frame hit. And their systems are good, but they're like modeling, at least in the 777. Yeah, I said alright. That plane, systems were great. Modeling? Yeah, I just don't think the modeling was great. The wings were horrible. They're flex. They might as well just not had wing flex. Like, their whole wings just flapped like this. And I was always like, man, that's not how it works. And the other thing is, none of the small planes have wing flex. But they do in reality. Not major, it's very small. It's like a wiggle, but that'd be a cool thing for them to add. Have you looked at the new Microsoft Flight Simulator that's coming out? FS 2020 or whatever? I'm probably going to get it. I'll keep both because I like X-Plane, but it's pretty much taking elements. X-Plane's element theory with the flight model and doing it 10 times more. So it might be really good. What I'll do, it's probably like $59 for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll buy it, and I'll hop in like a Cessna 172 or a 150 or a Piper Archer or any plane I've flown before, and I'll see how its stall characteristics are and how it handles turbulence. And if it does do it well, I'll probably work with that one a little bit more. Just because one of the reasons X-Plane doesn't run that great is because they're a small developer. And the bottom line is, regardless of how like good they make it look, they don't have the resources to go over all their source code and redo it new. So we're operating on way more lines of code than we need to, which is why it runs down so low. Unfortunately. That's the curse of it. But it is what it is. Not a big deal. Senior flight rules at 50. Yes. Well, the thing is, the flight simulator usually comes with a decent amount of planes. I'm not going to choose one or the other. I'm going to use both because I own planes on this one, and I like to use those planes. But I'll probably bounce between the two of them. And one thing that's making me kind of want to go for Microsoft Flight is that it won't hit the graphics bad because it's mostly on the cloud. Now that means you need internet to use it, but don't have internet, hop on X-Plane. The other cool thing is it's on Xbox, and when a new Xbox comes out, and then next gen consoles, I think it's an Xbox exclusive. But if it isn't, then both consoles. They're so strong, they can power max graphics when they come out, so I'll definitely get it and dick around with it. If I like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, I won't. I'll always stick to X-Plane somewhat, because I just like X-Plane. I like the 737. I used to fly that thing when it was the 2D cockpit. I wish I could still find a 2D cockpit, because the 2D cockpit was nice to fly with. Because it's just simple using the arrows to move around in the cockpit. Like, all you do is like this, and you're up to the top. Down the bottom. 43 miles out here. So Rutland is a little bit of a mountainous approach, so you can see we're getting shuffled around quite a bit here of turbulence, and we got a very good crosswind, so that's always yeah, definitely exciting. I've told my buddy the same thing, though. They have a huge team to develop. Yeah, so that's why, like, FS 2020 will run so much better, because it's developed by so many professionals that have so much man hours to put into it to make it perfect, versus X-Plane just takes longer. And unfortunately, X-Plane does have a lot of priority on their mobile flight simulations. Hey Judy, welcome to the stream. So that always hinders things. All that. Like, they should probably just focus on one thing or the other. But that's one thing they'll have. If Flight Simulator 2020 crushes X-Plane, Microsoft isn't going to waste time bringing it to mobile, but X-Plane can crush mobile, because X-Plane is hands down the best flight simulator on the mobile device. Currently, it's the best flight simulator on... this guy needs to calm down. Currently, it's the best flight simulator on PC as well. Especially with graphics. This dude's going bonkers, so I'm going to let him back out with me. I'd like to... I don't know if they... I don't know if X-Plane works with VR, but if I buy VR... I think I've seen you in the streams. I do like the race simulator, and people do VR and that, and like look around and all that stuff, which is great for seeing what's up. So I would like to look into the simulators have that, because like X-Plane, because that'd be great to be able to just like look down and click blank, blank, blank. Like move my head over here and be over here like, okay, that's what's going on there, cool. And all that. Alrighty. Yeah, it's gonna keep getting better. Flight cameras through because I've always been flying, but to think that come along this way. Yeah, we have. Dude, I was looking at it the other day when I saw the X-Plane 11 had come out. It took me a long time. I didn't buy X-Plane 11 until like last year. I literally was just like, 10's fine. I don't see any difference. I finally bought it for the because they weren't making planes anymore for X-Plane 10, and the new Cessna looked dope. The new Cessna 172 and X-Plane 11 was a lot better than the one X-Plane 10, graphic-wise and everything else, and had the Garmins and all that stuff, which I wanted to practice with a little bit. So it's definitely come a long way. X-Plane 9 to 10 was the biggest jump ever. In all honesty, the jump from X-Plane 10 to 11 is pretty minuscule. I genuinely think the game runs worse. The game runs worse, looks about the same. The only thing improved is the lighting system. And the flight physics are a teeny bit improved. Like, there's some, like, situations that you'd get into in X-Plane 10 that were buggy with the flight model, and those are gone now, but I just wish it ran a little better. The only thing they needed to do is include the settings on the clouds, but those aren't there. So I took the cloud files and shortened them from 4K to fucking 256. So they became a lot better running, but unfortunately they reset every time X-Plane updates. So that's one thing of that. The group's still trucking along. I look at it here and there. I run a big NASCAR group now, though. It has like 8,000 people in it, so that one's kind of my focus and time and attention now. Other than my race streaming stuff. I did take a good like year and a half break there from flying, though. I didn't fly. I didn't think about it. Well, I thought about it here and there, but not often. I didn't hop on the X-Plane for probably 2 years. What kind of PC did you build for X-Plane 11? What'd you put on it for specs? I didn't fly over that, did I? Do. Turbulence. Thing is just getting puffed all around. I used to play X-Plane 10 on my like Intel HD 4000 computer. This is an Alienware. This is my first actually built computer. Which I can run every object in the simulator, which is what I'm doing. But the clouds kill it. Luckily, 20 FPS is the lowest X-Plane can handle. It still run accurately, but it's a little painful to watch. But like, if I come down here and stare at my cockpit, back to the 30s. Even with the good lighting on. Okay, stay still. There you go. Over there. Oh, the end of this flight is taking so long. Speeding up when I should probably be slowing down, but that's fine. There's definitely been a partially IFR flight. We were up in the clouds. I don't know if you were here for it, but I spent like fucking 30 minutes in the clouds before I chose to drop down to 7,500 from 10,000. It's about time for me to start my descent again, but I'm probably just going to do a rapid descent, because the problem is I have all these mountains. And Rutland's like over there, kind of. As you can see, our flight map, people don't tell it. You can see the flight we've done so far. Took off out of Boston. To there, to there. I'm quite a bit off the vector. Oh. Yeah, when we get here, we'll turn on the final for Rutland. Actually, I'll pop back over to Sky Vector. There we go. There we go. Yeah, alright. So when we get to muddy, we'll catch that. Just wanted to make sure I did that right. Can you relax and just chillax on my shoulder? I'm not letting you adventure. Can you? Oh, I could have been able to tell that from there. There be our turbulence. Let's actually check where we are. Yeah, it's about time to start our descent, so I'm going to take manual control over our plane here. Plane's mine. Begin our descent slowly here. You need to relax. Now you're going back in your tank. You wanted to crawl down and run around the floor. I'm not letting that fly. Alrighty, back on manual control. I have a joystick right here. That's how we're controlling this plane. Well, you've got a beefy... You have a lot of RAM on your computer, Christ. You got all the RAM. Yeah, that computer probably maxes out whatever you throw at it, except X-Plane. X-Plane's just hard to max out. Like, I have a couple things turned down. Like, my effects are all turned down low. Oh, well, that just all updated. For some worse weather, I should say. Speaking of that, there's one thing I didn't do. What time is it in reality? It's daytime. Forgot to set to real time and weather. Sounds expensive. Yeah, all PC stuff is always super expensive, unfortunately. But most of that you'll never have to upgrade. You might have to update the graphics card down the road, potentially, but the rest of that computer is probably going to be fucking top of the line for a while. Like, I doubt you'll ever need much more than the i7 and 32 gigabytes of RAM. I was doing approaches to, I think it was Poga or something? Pono? It's some Chinese airport. It's really complicated to approach at. You have to, like, weave through the mountains. That was a fun airport to fly at. I was only doing, like, setup approaches, like 3 nautical mile approaches and stuff like that. Bearded Dragon's mad. He's mad about something. Alrighty. Should be touching down here in about 10 or 15 minutes. At Rutland. I haven't really descended all that much. Gotta keep an eye on these mountains and hold clearance on those. We're slowly dropping down 6,000, doing it about as comfortably as possible here. We're about 30 miles out. As Rutland is just over to our left. Yeah, Rutland's right there. So like if I looked out to my left, we probably can't see it because of the... Actually, you can. There you can. Yeah, Rutland's out there is like over behind that mountain. So that's the reason for this flight path going out past it and coming back to it is because of that. In theory, I could have flown and like dropped down like that into Rutland over here, but we didn't do that. I did that once. I flew this route quite a few times in my life, and this way we're taking is my second favorite way. My favorite way I can't do in the simulator because the topography is just not accurate enough. It's good accuracy, but I don't have the navigational aids, which is what this navigational type uses. As a visual navigation approach through a valley. It's actually really nice. Getting dropped back down again. Not trying to climb here. Oh, you know what my problem is? Yeah. Let's do myself a favor here. Set up my trim. I can stop fucking using this freaking yoke so much. Alright, 6,500 is about where we wanted to be. Miles out of final. It's about a 13-mile approach when we get to the point. Now we'll start turning around here to intercept this correctly. Then we'll touch down at Rutland. Like I said, I'm expecting it to be kind of rough and bumpy, and possibly result in a go-around because the weather's pretty shit. We have like a severe crosswind. This is X-Plane 11. It's about the best flight simulator for accuracy you can buy. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to run the thing, but it's about the most accurate simulator you're going to find. The guy I was talking with above you, Tyler, him and I have been friends through the flight simulator for probably like, what, 9 years now? 10 years now? I don't know, it's been a while. So, it's a good simulator, got a good community around it. Lots of different aircrafts, pretty damn accurate if you treat it right. With that said, it has jack shit for tutorials. No. Simulator's like $60 itself, and it comes with planes that you can fly, and like payware professional quality aircraft. They cost between like 20 and 110 bucks each, but it comes with like 20 planes. This plane I'm flying right now, I think it costed like 30 bucks. But I fly planes that came with the simulator all the time, like Cessnas and stuff, and there's a 737 it came with as well, which is a lot of fun. Just have to study up on it all and make sure you do it right. holding manual control on this the rest of the flight, most likely, as we're kind of pitching down here. We'll turn on the final at about 2.5 miles away. We'll turn on the final. Joystick. Joystick for controls. When did I start rapidly climbing? Oh, yeah, sorry. I gotta pay a bit more attention here because this is where everything gets a little more important. Time to turn. Alrighty. You can see Rutland there. We'll be linking on for final approach here shortly. The rest of this will be all visual navigation, as everything showed that I would be able to, so that was what I planned for. Visual navigation. Drop altitude here a little quick. Sorry about the beeping. Landing gear here. I need to click pause for this part because I keep dropping altitude when I try to do it without pausing the plane. Alrighty. Hello. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're on our final approach into Rutland, Vermont. For those of you stuck through the stream, I do hope you have enjoyed it here. We should be on the ground in about 5 minutes or so. Probably less. It's probably a bit of an over-exaggeration. Expect it to look how mine looks out of the box, because I have no payware scenery add-ons. Alright, we need to figure out like what this crosswind's exactly doing. Fucking windy. Well, if you want a crosswind approach, here it is. Alrighty, we'll be touching down here shortly. Our last notch of flaps is on. Christ, it's the most floaty plane ever. A little high. But according to X-Plane, we're high, but this is about how the approach looks when you do this for real. Because you got that hill there. And those trees come a lot higher than they're showing. Not my best approach ever. Alrighty. Kick the rudder. And we're down. There you go, guys. We've arrived in Rutland, Vermont. Safely. No problems. I'll do the taxiing after. We'll watch. Oh, no. We'll toggle some replays real quick. There's a replay we're looking for. Get you from the wing view. What a passenger would have been seeing on this landing. There you go. It's so slow in a small plane. You're not going as fast as you think compared to other planes. There's a good amount of crosswind on this landing, though. We're pretty sideways there. Touchdown without much of a problem. Replay from the cockpit view so you guys can see it again. A little zoomed out. You can see we're pretty sideways because of the wind. Kick the rudder there. Turn the yoke. Keep yourself straight. I'll play in slow motion so you can see what I'm talking about. We're about to touch down here. Kick that rudder. Spins the plane around. Plane wants to dip when you kick that rudder. You correct it with the yoke. Touch her down right there. Close to center line as you're gonna get. Ain't gonna get much. Actually, you could get a lot better than that. That wasn't my best landing ever, but it was decent for considering the weather and the plane and all that. I take it. Last view I'll give you before we taxi this thing over and shut her off. Get you from this view. This lets you really see the crosswind and the turbulence affecting that plane. Just kind of dropped it on the runway, not gonna lie. The last, I know I said that was the last view, but here I am doing a whole nother one. But that wasn't what I wanted. Alright, that was what I wanted. Cool. Alright, last cool view I have, then we'll taxi it in. I forgot I like this view as well. Usually I don't do this live, I just do this on my own. This one lets you kind of see everything that happened with the plane on its approach. You can see the crosswind affecting everything. Touchdown. Wind's still blowing that plane around. But we're back in it. As well, come on. Now we'll just finish up our taxi. It's not the right exit, but entrance, but whatever. I'm taking it. I just want to get out of here. I want to get out of this plane. The turn I actually wanted to take was up there. I think. I don't know. Yeah. I'm going backwards, but no one cares. Would have taken the turn over there. Alrighty. It's been about an hour since I've seen this airport. I was debating starting to fly from here and going to Boston, but I made a decision to not do that. Alrighty. Well, throw her down right here. And you'd get out right here and walk right into that terminal. Right there, which looks a little different from that, but it's close enough. More than 25 knots on taxi. Yep, that's me for you, dude. I'm in a rush. I'm done. Usually it'd be like, what, 7 knots, 10 knot stops? Although, not gonna lie, my flight instructor fucking taxied like a motherfucker for some reason. He, which one is it I want? Well, that holds the brake. He taxied like a motherfucker. Nice little flight, man. Glad to see you back at it for sure. Thank you, man. This is the first one I've done live, but I've done lots of other ones. This one was just for fun. I didn't do much of anything properly in this flight. I more so just wanted to fly. So we turn this baby off. Whoa. Not what I meant to do. Fuel pumps off. I love those switches that turn everything off. Everything's off. Nav light, taxi light, turn off those heats, off and off and off. Avionics will be off here. Check, they're off. And plane's off. There you go. That was our flight of the day. I'll open everything up. Everything. Passenger doors, nose doors, static elements, everything. There you go. It's all opened up. Because you can't leave this plane the normal way. I'm stuck in a seat, and here we are. We are outside of the plane. Wow, I just flew away from it. So yeah, we are in Rutland. Nothing broke in the plane. That's all that matters. We have arrived. Thank you guys very much for joining. I hope you enjoyed this little fun random ass flight. One of these days, I'll do a proper one. Like, I'll do flight air traffic control. Why is my plane floating away? What? Is it just me? Or is the plane floating away? Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. That shouldn't be happening. But one of these days, I'll do like an actual flight with like air traffic control, flight routes all accurate. We'll get all the flight levels determined before we even take off, and all that stuff, and we'll follow it like I was going to, but decided not to because it was all programmed into the GPS, and I didn't feel like spending 20 minutes programming it again. So I was like, that's actually, this route was for Rutland to Boston. It's the reverse of that route, except they made like one different change to it, but pretty much same route. So thank you for joining, guys. I do hope you did enjoy. Sure to leave a like, follow the page if you haven't done so already. Typically this is a NASCAR simulation racing channel, but if you like anything else, I do other shit too. I play random games here and there to fill the time because the state's shut down. Stay safe, everybody. Tyler, it was nice talking to you. It was a pleasure talking with you again and being involved with Flight Sim. That was fun. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video, and until next time.